Firstly, one quick note. You can't really follow along with the tutorial if you don't have a tileset to use. You can either download my tileset, there'll be a link down in the description, or you can go check out MortMort's video on how to draw your own tileset. Without further ado, let's get on with the video. Welcome to a new tutorial. In this tutorial, we're going to be learning how to make awesome levels in Scratch in just a few easy steps. So first, I am kind of cheating as I'm not using Scratch. I'm using this awesome editor called Tile Map Editor called Tiled. There'll be a link in the description, or I can just show you in a video if I don't put it in the description. That there, thorbjohn.itch.io/tiled. Or just go to itch.io and search tiled if you can't remember the link. So this is it. To download it, I click download now. If you want to pay, that's good, but no thanks, just take me to the downloads, because the paying is optional. Now, I would use Tiled for Windows, 64-bit installer, or 32-bit if you're using Windows. Just select one of these and go through the installer. Although I've already got it, so I'm not going to go through those steps. So, now that you've got it, the installer should create a desktop shortcut to Tiled. So I've just now opened Tiled, and now you should be presented with this: no open files. You can either create a new map, a new tile set, or open a file. So I'm going to start by creating a new tile set. A tile set is these levels we're going to be making are tile based. So we have a load of tiles which you put together to make a level. And these are generally the easiest ways to do it. So I'm going to make a new tile set. I'm going to name this grass, based on tile set image, which is one big image where they're exactly into a grid, all different tiles. Or you can make it a collection of images where you have multiple images which you add. I'm going to make it just based on one image. And I can. One quick note: if you're following the whole tutorial series, your tiles will have to be 16 by 16 pixels, or otherwise the tiles won't fit onto the Scratch screen exactly. I can tell you, if you're having different dimensions, how many tiles you'll need on a Scratch screen. And also, I would actually suggest 16 by 16 pixel tile sets. As well, that's just my preference. Set a tile width and tile height, and margin at the edges and spacing between them if your tile set had those. In my case, it has none of this because they're exactly next to each other and there's no margin around the edges, and they're 16 by 16 pixels. Also, make sure to use transparent colour if you have any transparency. I didn't check this last time and I had transparency, and that seemed to work fine. So yeah. But this is I don't know what this does, because I don't know. Anyway, now source. This is the image you're using from your desktop. So I'm going to click browse and have a look for my picture. So the one I'm using is called Tileset. It is saved here, so I'm going to double click on that to open it. Now I can just click save as. Now it wants me to save a tile map file. I'm going to save that under a new folder called tutorial. Call it whatever you want and save it wherever you want, but I'm just going to name it tutorial. And yet again, I'm going to name it grass. Don't change this, as got to save it as these types. And now just click save to save a file called grass for your tile set. And that should open it up. It should look somewhat like this, with your tiles in here, some properties and stuff in here, and yeah. So first, if your tiles should be somewhat arranged like this. These are all I need for now, and I'm going to start by now making a tile map. So I'm going to click File, New, and now New Map this time. I'm going to make it orthogonal, which means squares, basically. isometric, well, hexagonal, staggered, well, isometric is where you have diamond shapes, kind of rotated squares, and isometric staggered, I don't know what that is, and hexagonal, well, hexagons, it's fairly obvious. I'm going to choose hexagonal. Tile layer format, I just leave it differently. Now for my map size, I can either make a fixed size for my map, or I can make it infinite, which means I can just go on forever and I won't hit the edge of the tile map. In this case, I'm going to create it infinite, and now just click Save As. I'm now going to name this Tile Map. You can name this what you want, don't fiddle with this. It's got to save as this type. Although if you're using Python, you can use the JSON file and read from that, or even JavaScript map file if you're using JavaScript, and then you can code it. But I'm using Scratch, so I'll just use this. Now once I've saved that, I now have two things open, my grass and my tile map. I can use a scroll wheel to zoom, or change the percentage down here. I can even type it in if I want, and I can go further, although there's only normal presets. So now, to draw, I now need to go to this tool here. At the top you can see the stamp one. If you hover over it, it should say stamp brush, or you can press B to do it. So I had something selected earlier. So now I can select some tiles, draw them in, select more. Result, cool. But this is taking ages, and there's a really good way to speed it up. This is using terrains. There's this icon here, the one next to the stamp here, or the one which is already selected here. I'm going to select this. Now, if it's not selected, if something else selected, different window, but now the terrain window should pop up. I'm going to click Add down here, and now I'm going to name this terrain Grass. I can name it what I want. Basically, this is a type of tile where rather than having to put like all the different tiles, this is one tile that will pick a tile from here depending on its surroundings. So I can now draw these, and this will make the terrain. Basically how it works, the easiest way to visualize it is imagine these are like curves going round. So this is top right side curve round there, and so on. You can see this one would have to be straight. This would curve round, and the center is a center tile, and you can kind of see what you want it to be. Then for my inverted corners, imagine it was a curve, it'd be curving somewhat like this. So you've got to do very specific or it won't work. I'll probably show you if I do tutorials on making other specific games. I'll show you how to do this for tiles. But for now I'm going to use Control S or File Save to save it. And now my tile map, I've got this saved, and I can go where it says Tilesets here. I can now click terrains instead. And now I can find this grass terrain I had earlier. This allows me not just to draw the block like this, but to just draw big splodges that will automatically adapt to their surroundings. And this would take me ages to do all this in a time lapse. Well, now this took me a lot quicker. There are a few other tools I want to show you first, using Tilesets. Firstly, the rectangle draw, which allows you to draw rectangles. The rubber to rub out tiles, or eraser I should call it. Fill, which if I had, going back to the stamp, drawn a weird shape or whatever, I can fill this in nice and quickly. I can fill the outside too, but I'm not doing that. We're not this select same tile, means let's say I have some of these tiles, and now if I go onto this tool, click on those, I can select all those. I'm just going through them quickly. But anyway, magic wand means I can make a loose selection, so of a certain area of tiles. So if I have these tiles here, an area of top tiles here, if I go onto magic wand, I can select the outside, select these tiles, or select these tiles. So it selects areas of tiles, which is cool. This is to move. You can move your whole tile map, I think. And then random mode. I've not actually used these. And with that, this ends this video. But be sure to check out part 2, which should pop up on the screen when I released it, on how to get your levels ready for Scratch. Bye! And please make sure to subscribe. And if you liked it, hit the like button. And if you didn't, hit the like button anyway. Bye!